Yeah, hi, my name is Gus and welcome to my shed. I'm making this video today to introduce my new scroll frames. I've had so many requests about making scroll frames, but as I was so busy with the stands, I never really had the time for anything else. Then one day I had an idea just pop up in my head about a potential design to be able to do these, and I couldn't shake it. So when I was able, I started making and testing some prototypes to see if the design would work. I'm happy to say that it does, and I have a couple of frames here to show you what they look like. The smaller frame and the larger frame, they're the same design. The only difference is the length of the horizontal bars and the height of the vertical bars. But they're all interchangeable. You can have, I believe, 63 permutations of frame sizes. There are 7 different sizes of these rods and 9 different heights of the vertical bars. So it gives a total of 63 permutations. Okay, and then as I said, there are 7 sizes of the scroll rods, 9 of the vertical bars. So I've put together this handy chart. I'll put a bigger one on the screen so you can see it, but just to explain it, along the top is the horizontal bar designators from 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 88. And then down here we have VB, which is vertical bars, from 10 up to 50. This is in kilos, so this in the center, this information field gives you the weight of a certain frame, and the same down here gives you the same thing in pounds. Okay, and then on this chart as well, I've also added, highlighted in orange, this is like a 15 centimeter, this is the inch equivalent, the same along the top. So 80 is 31.5 inches, for example. Again, I'll put these on the screen down below. And then just to show you what I mean by being able to pick the weight of a particular frame, suppose you wanted a VB 25, so a vertical bar of 25 and a horizontal bar of 60. You just look along to where those 2 columns intersect, and then you'll get the weight in kilograms and the weight in pounds. Okay, so just to explain the coding, the HB refers to the horizontal bars, and the number afterwards, the 30, 40, 50, etc., that designates the working length here for the fabric in centimeters. So a 30 would be 30 centimeters, 40, 50. This particular frame is an 80, and this one in front is a 40. Okay, and then the the VB, which are the vertical bars here and here, they are designating 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 20, 35, 50, etc. And what that means is the distance, the working distance here between the 2 bars is that number. So it would be like 25 or 20 or 50 or 30. That's the working distance between the 2 bars. Okay, and as you can see, the frames stand up. So, and also, so just to reiterate the lengths of the scrolls, so this one is 80, the longest one I can do is 88. Again, that refers to the working distance, so the overall length of the bar is longer than that. And because of Australia Post and the rules, etc., here in Australia, the longest bar that I'll be able to ship anywhere is the 88. because its overall length falls just underneath the limits placed on package maximum lengths. And then, so during the process of doing these, I kind of realized that potentially I could also make some scroll rods, not the sidebars, but the scroll rods for some of your other existing frames, such as your Omanik and Millennial. So I've got a couple of samples here. This is a pair of rods for a Millennial frame, and these have been tested and work out fine. I'll get more into that later, but so that's the Millennial ones. These are a pair of Omanik bars. Again, I can only do the horizontal bars, I cannot do the vertical bars. And again, these will have the same size range as my own bars, so from 30 up to 88 centimeters. So with this style of frame, there are a couple of things that are a little different or unconventional, let's say. For example, the scroll rods themselves are octagonal rather than round, and I can show you what I mean here. Is this piece is actually octagonal rather than completely round. I don't have the ability or the equipment to make that, and this is a good alternative to that, and that's the same for the Omanik bars, the Millennial bars, and the Gus frame bars. The tensioning method is different to other makes. You can see a little bit of that here. This is actually, the tensioning is done using the top bar rather than any adjustment vertical on the vertical bars. There will be a part 2 to this video where I will demonstrate assembling and tensioning and everything the frame. But right now, just to let you know, there is some difference with that. And then, so neither is better or worse, just a different approach, and none of them have proven to be problematic during testing. Okay, so let me just add that though I've now decided to add these to Gus's Custom Creations, or to what Gus's Custom Creations can offer, it's important to remember that I'm not trying to replace anything or compete with anybody. I'm still a one-man band and I still have the stands going, so I'll only be able to offer these frames in a pretty small volume. And so depending on if they are popular or not, they'll be put on a separate waitlist that will run alongside and in parallel with the waitlist for the stands. So I would please ask for your understanding and appreciate your patience with me. It will of course mean spending more time here in the shed, but if they're popular, I'm more than happy to do that. And for pricing and availability, please contact me via email or on Facebook Messenger. I'll put the links in the description below. Be sure to let me know where you are located, as the pricing will include the shipping to your location. I'm also very pleased to let you know that during the development and testing process, I reached out to a couple of ladies in the Stitcher community to see if they would be willing to be beta testers of the frames for me. And with the benefit of their knowledge and experience to then give me their honest feedback on the frames. So, to Crystal Higgins in the US and Carolyns Sullivan here in Australia, I want to take this opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it. Carolyn has a YouTube channel which is called @TheFlossTubeStitcher, which has been going for quite a few years and has over 13.7 thousand subscribers, I believe. So I'll include a link to it in the description below. She has got some fantastic videos up already, including a review of the Gus standard table stand. And if we are lucky, she may put up a video of the Gus frame too. So In part 2 of this video, I will demonstrate assembling a frame and discuss things in more detail as we go. Until then, thank you so much.